Mary here, bringing you Farmer Friday. Just a little bit about what's been going on around here this week. Mostly regular old chores, and it's way too hot. So enjoy the snapshots and the videos. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch y'all later. Set up at the Globe Miami Farmers Market, and we have fresh eggs, goat milk sugar scrubs, goat milk lotion, shampoo bars, goat milk soap. Come on down. We're here in the park, the train park, until 11 o'clock. I know, Digger, it's really hot, and it's going to be even hotter tomorrow. That's why I'm trying to get something done here. I've added some shade cloth on this side of this little canopy next to Digger's pen to help give him more shade. And I raised this white canopy up, hoping that it would throw more shade towards the milk area. But in the position it's in, it's not. So I'm thinking maybe I should walk it all the way up against the milk area. I'm just not sure I'm going to have enough space for the gate because of the way the legs will end up with the little bit sticking off this one canopy. I don't know. Are my pants smoking? Holy moly. I was standing on the step stool in the sun right there, and it just felt like my pants were on fire. Oh my goodness. I'm putting this is an old ratty piece of shade cloth that's kind of falling apart. So I've got it doubled up, and we're going to fill up that gap up there to help keep more sun out of the milk area in the late afternoon. Okay, that's better. That'll help keep the sun off of us when I come to milk, because it usually shines right here on the top of the milk stand. Whoa. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. It is supposed to be 106 tomorrow, and then I guess cool down to 99 for a couple of days, and then I don't know what the end of next week's going to look like. So I'm thinking, well, what if I move the little barbecue thing down to the end of Digger's pen, and then move the big white canopy over right up against the milk area, because I could probably rig some wires or strings or something to put more shade cloth in between the two of them, because there would be a gap. I might do that, but not today. I'm too hot. I'm already fried. Maybe early in the morning. Just out here trying to keep things alive, at least until it rains. Whenever that's gonna be. Just trying to give things enough water that they don't croak completely, and that they'll come back and grow if we have a reasonable amount of rain. Morning, boys. Morning, everybody. It is Sunday. I'm trying to get some work done before it gets too hot. It's going to be 106 today. Yuck. So I'm out here mucking on this pen so I can get some things situated. I've got a pallet I'm going to put in this gap where the goats are right in the fence, and try and muck some of the old waste hay out of here and fix the gate. And then I'm going to pull this piece of fence down so these boys can have all this extra space. So we'll see how far we get. Whew. Okay, I got too hot working up there in the goat pen and then trying to move a cattle panel. And now I got screamers. But I want to see about rearranging some of this stuff here by Digger and the goats to get them more shade this afternoon because it's going to be real hot. They were scared when I poured the bucket of water in that pan. Yeah, you figure it out? Huh? Can you figure it out? I guess they think I'm a monster. I don't know. Y'all are too funny. You're too funny. Oh my goodness. You terrified of a pan of water? Huh? Big duckies have it figured out. Huh. Huh. Yeah. What are you doing, ducks? Huh? What are you doing, duckies? There's the one my friend Sherry's called Uno, the yellow one. He was the only one that hatched from my friend's hatch. And the others are Rowans, a heavy meat breed from France. Yeah, I figured everybody needed a little water. It's hot today. Whew, it's like 2 o'clock-ish on, I think I'm on Sunday afternoon. It is 106 out here. I turned, instead of using the strips of mister hose with tiny misters for a few minutes, I am running my garden hose on a mister setting for Digger to get him kind of wet and cooled off. I wet all of this shade cloth down. It's already dry, so I'm going to do that again all the way around the goat pen to help keep them cooler, because this is pretty miserable. Oh, little bird. Little bird in a water bucket. That's how y'all drowned. Yeah, that's how y'all drowned. Come here. Come here. All right. All right. Hi. It's still like 102 out here, and it is time to go milk goats. Oh. Okay, I know this looks like a weird dinner, but it's cold and salty and refreshing on this super hot night. I have leftover Italian sausages and a fermented pickle and onions and an avocado. And here, in my family anyway, we eat avocados cut in half with a spritz of lemon juice and a sprinkle of salt, and we eat them with a spoon. Alrighty, in spite of having a little leakage this morning, Miss Pinnobane, it looks like has given us 2 3/4 of a pint. So that's awesome. She's coming up in her production. She's still a little lopsided. She's got a really odd hard knot right there. And I've been doing hot compresses. I tried the Dynamint udder cream because that's supposed to increase circulation and help with stuff like that. But so far, we haven't made any progress there. But we're progressing in our production, so that's awesome. That means that even if she just gives me a bare 2 pints tonight, she will have been over a half a gallon. So that'll be awesome. Good morning, duckies. I see you need some water and some breakfast. Yeah, I know. You're telling me all about it, aren't you? Oh, y'all still have a little bit of water there. Yeah, you out of feed? Okay. Alrighty, and everybody's getting some breakfast now. Yes, I'm so happy now. Happy ducks. Good morning, it's Monday. And most chores are done. I got a few more water buckets to fill up. I need to go get the milk taken care of. And then probably go work on the buck pen so I can get those boys situated where they'll have more shade and stuff. Morning, little chickens. Good morning. Okay, y'all have some water. But you need some breakfast. All right, how about you girls? You big girls. Oh, y'all need some water. I probably need to buy a couple more of the big water chicken waterers, but those are so expensive. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, we'll give you a little bit more feed for the day. Yeah? You know, you act like a boy. Y'all are supposed to be sex pullets, but you sure do act like a boy. Yes, you do. Okay, we'll go get you some water. The sun just came over the hill and it is already burning me up. Good morning, boys. It's Monday. Did you know that? It's Monday. We got lots of stuff to do today. Yep, we do. So when I first started thinking about fixing this side of this pen up to make Bashful's pen bigger, my first thought was, oh my God, I'm going to have to rip down that fence and redo the whole thing and la 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 la. And then I was like, oh no, we're not. We just need to reinforce it a little bit, get a little bit taller so that these little boys can't jump over. So I have a cattle panel that I'm going to drag in here, and we're going to just put it up against that fence and wire it in and be done. It's late Monday afternoon. It was just like 102 out here. I came out and put the mister on Digger for a little bit. We at least have a little bit of a breeze. But I have been working on evaluating kids. And this is what I'm looking at right now. Two little tushies and their udders. So, this is Honey, and this is Cinnamon. Now, these girls are both about the same size. Littermate sisters. And I think we're 12 or 13 weeks or something now. And here's what I'm looking at, because I'm trying to improve udders and teats and teat placements, and while retaining high production. So here's what, and they're not standing square or perfect like they would be for showing or anything like that, but I've been looking at them for a while. So here's what I notice. Cinnamon is got more space between her vulva and what looks like will be the top of her udder. Okay, we would like that to be higher. And if that's the top of her udder, she's not super wide right there. Whereas Honey, now she may still have about the same amount of space here. She might be a little bit higher. But the thing I'm looking at is that she's wider right there at the top of her udder in that arch. And the other thing that I've noticed quite a bit is Cinnamon has short, kind of little fat teats. And Honey has longer, thinner teats. She is standing kind of funny right now with her feet close together. She usually stands farther apart. So another thing that I noticed, I don't know if we can see it here, the way they're standing eating their little snack. Hi, baby girl. We can see some. So we would like our rump to be flat. So when I put my hand here and hold it out, you can see there's not a huge amount of space between those hip bones and my fingers. If I do that to Cinnamon, you can see that gap is a lot bigger. So she has a sharper rump, and that is not as desirable. We would like to see pretty level rumps. So those are a couple of things I've been looking at. I do think Honey will probably be the girl that will stay. Miss Cinnamon has other issues, and I had thought that, well, she could just go be somebody's backyard milker. But she continues to have a weepy eye. It's not infected. I think it's just her eyelashes, and she probably gets dust in it and stuff, but it tends to be a little weepy. But my major concern with her is her jaw. So maybe when she comes up for air, we can see it. But she has, her bottom jaw is just a tiny bit too long. It does not properly meet her upper palate, her upper gums. And that, you can kind of see that right there. Whoops. Well, probably got you a little seasick there. But that means that as she gets older, it would be harder for her to browse. It would be harder for her to, you can see how that bottom jaw is longer than her top. It also means that her nostrils are much smaller than they should be. Hey. And that is a big concern here with our heat. I've noticed here that when it's really hot, any girls that have smaller nostrils seem to have a lot more trouble when it's really hot than girls that have bigger, wider nostrils, like those girls. It takes a lot more heat before they start showing signs of distress than girls with smaller nostrils. They seem to be panting and stuff a lot sooner, a lot quicker than girls with bigger nostrils. The other thing I've noticed about Cinnamon is when they're running and playing and jumping around, especially if it's just even a little bit warm, in just a few minutes she's out of breath. She's panting with her tongue hanging out, whereas the other kids aren't. So unfortunately, Miss Cinnamon is probably going to be a freezer goat. So, and we'll take a look at the boys maybe later or tomorrow and talk about them. But Miss Honey will definitely stay at least for a while. And we'll cross our fingers that she's as productive as her mama Bambi. Well, that's a fine howdy doody. Well, that's probably a relatively easy fix. But just not right now. Right now it's time to go milk. Ezzy is already hollering. And that's why there's always a bunch of empty jugs sitting around at my place. And I'm really grateful I have a secondary water source. And I don't have to drive down the street to my friend's house to get some water to wash the dishes. All right. Yesterday, in spite of being watered about 3 times, some of these plants died. Some of them were almost dead. They have perked up. Some of them have perked up a little bit this morning. But in a last-ditch effort to save them and maybe get something, I'm going to just stick them over there in that garden space and water them really good this morning and hope for the best. Well, that's turned out okay. I was sweating it because my glue looked like paste. And I was just like, well, I ain't got nothing to lose, so we'll try it and see what happens. And it's holding. I can't believe it. Hallelujah. All right, I don't know what the chickens are hollering about, but Miss Fennelbean here is very full this morning. We do still have some leakage sometimes, so we are still using the New Skin liquid bandage to help keep that from being too bad. So I gotta get that off. She has developed this big knot right there, and that it doesn't seem to hurt her. It doesn't seem to be bothering her. Just not sure what it was. Very weird. I don't know why my phone suddenly kicked out like that. What, sister? You still have snacks? Yeah, you still have snacks. We haven't even started milking yet, baby. Oh, and we're leaking. All right. No kicking. You see, we've graduated to using the pail. instead of just a pint jar. So now I can milk a little faster. If she's not been leaking, she's been giving me about 2.5 pints each milking. But she's very, very full this morning, so she might have more than that. And that looks like a little over 2.5 pints, probably 2 3/4, because there's still some foam in there. So it's not too bad. We're getting better. Wow, Pinto Bean was actually just under 3 pints this morning. She probably would have made a little bit more than that, but she was leaking a little bit by the time she got to the milk stand. So that's awesome. I think that's about the most she's given me so far. It's Wednesday. I was thinking it was Thursday, but it's not Thursday yet. It's still just Wednesday. So I'm out here giving these tomato plants a drink of water. The ones I planted, was it yesterday, the day before? They really don't look horrible for the shape some of them were in. And considering the fact that it was 105 degrees Fahrenheit today. So, like, that was pretty sad. But, yeah. It was the last ditch effort to save them and possibly get something out of them. Maybe at least towards the end of summer when it starts to cool off a little bit. So I have fed, watered, milked. I still need to take the milk in the house and put it away. But I will not have time in the morning to give these plants a drink of water. So they got to have a drink tonight. Because, and then I got to go look at the plants in the little garden next to the house. The squirrels have been doing a number on them. However, there are at least 2 squirrels in my squirrel trap. And I'm really happy. I do not like squirrels. They are nothing but bushy-tailed rats. They will ruin your car. They will eat the wires in your house and in your car and cause hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage all over the place. They will eat every piece of green fruit off your fruit trees and your tomatoes and things. And like, they have eaten a couple, 3 tomato plants in that other garden down to the ground. Literally, there's nothing left of them. And I put out a dozen basil plants last week. Came out a couple days later, and they were all gone all the way to the ground. So I was not a happy camper. So I'm very happy that there are squirrels in the trap. Oh, this one looks really sad. I think it was pretty sad when I put it out here. The stem is not crispy though. Most of the leaves are real crispy, but I'm not sure what that one was. A large red cherry. Well, I think I have a couple more of those that might be doing better if this one doesn't make it. But a sad comparison to a year or even 5 years ago when we had just loads and loads of vegetables and things. But, yeah, stuff happens and there's no water. Just wetting this ground down so I could plant these plants, keep these fruit trees alive, and my other trees up in the back. I probably ran about 1,500 gallons out of my well tank over 2 or 3 days. My well can't pump that fast, and so I had to turn it off. I had to turn off the faucet and stuff and switch over to the water company, which is not cheap, but I'm hoping that the well can recover in 1 or 2 days and be better. I have a 2,000 gallon tank, and it's just that I ran the water out faster than it could fill up. So it's kind of like that's this time of year, really. But we're getting desperate for water, and we still have no rain in the forecast in the next 10 days. Alrighty. It was 105 today, and my house is really hot because the pump on my swamp cooler is trying to die, or it's clogged up, so I've been messing with that. I bought new pads the other day, but it's been so hot on this side of the house when I had the time to do it that I just couldn't do it. I got one side done tonight. And I think I've cleared the clog for the pump. So we're going to turn it on and cross our fingers that it cools the house off. It gets it nice and cold before morning. Alrighty. It is Thursday evening. Oh, I worked my part-time job today. And then my friend came up from Tucson to pick up some turkeys because our store had some heritage breed turkeys. And we visited a little bit, and she went on, and I went back to run back over and order my hay for delivery tomorrow. And when I got down on the flat on the highway, the car said it was 112 degrees, and I believe it. It was awful hot today. So everybody's doing pretty good, except this morning when I first went out to check the little ducklings, the little magpies. One of them was stretched out flat on his back, and he's kind of foaming at the mouth, which they were out of water, even though I'd watered them yesterday evening. And I got him up, I got him water, I made sure he drank really good, and he seemed to be like he was going to be okay. He was kind of weak and wobbly, but I thought he'd be all right. But when I checked again before I went to work, he had passed. So we're down to 19 magpies. So that was sad. I'm not sure if it was just because maybe there was no water and maybe he was eating and the feed choked him, or if maybe he ate a scorpion or something like that. I have no idea. Everybody else in there looks really good though. Goats all seem to be doing okay, even though it was hot. I ran the mister all afternoon for Digger Dog because he was real hot. But his whole pen's in the shade now, and it's starting to cool off a little bit. I got to see how hot we're supposed to be tomorrow, because I don't think they were predicting 112 today. I thought it was just going to be about 105 like it was yesterday, but whew. In other news, I had to switch so let me back up. So I do have a well, but it is not connected to my house. My house is still connected to the water company. And I just used my well for all the animals and the gardens and stuff. Well, I ran out so much water the beginning of the week trying to get everything wet down and keep it alive that I ran my big water tanks dry. So that was like around 1,500 gallons of water in about 3 days, trying to get the ground wet enough to keep things alive, like my trees and those little tomato plants I planted the other day. So I gotta be careful not to run too much water for a few days while the well recharges. There is water in the well. It's just that because I've had a whopping 1 inch of rain this entire year. Yeah, 1 inch. And it comes 1/10 of an inch at a time, so it's not doing us any good at all. It doesn't even settle the dust. So, it's just taken a really long time for the well to be able to refill my big water tank. So I just need to kind of keep an eye on things. I may have to switch back and forth between the water company and the well for a while until we do get some rain. New Mexico and parts of Arizona are supposed to get some good rain this coming weekend, but I don't know if that's going to include us. And if it does include my general area, it may not land at my house, because that is the recurring theme, is that the rain just goes around me. So, anyway, I was kind of catching up on the last day or two. I am really grateful that I was able to get the swamp cooler to work a little bit last night, and it is doing okay today. My kitchen, which is the farthest from the swamp cooler, was 85 degrees this afternoon, but the living room wasn't horrible. I don't have a thermometer in the living room, so I don't know exactly, but it wasn't miserable. And I'm all for not being miserable. Woo, and we got a little breeze. Oh, that's nice. So, anyway, that's a little catch up. So, oh, and I caught 3 squirrels that were under my house. The bad part of that is this afternoon it sounded like there's more squirrels inside the walls. So I will be resetting that trap, because that is not a good thing. They will chew up the wires and cause a fire, as well as steal all the plants and all the other things. So, but y'all probably heard me rant about the squirrels before, so I'll save you from that again. Alrighty, we'll catch y'all later. Good morning. It's Friday. I'm almost done with regular chores. Miss Bean has been getting a little higher in her production this past week. Doing pretty good. It's been really hot. And that's about all there is to that. It's just been really hot. So, just trying to hang in there and keep everything alive. So, a lot of things to do today, but I doubt I'll get half of it done, just because it's supposed to be another scorcher. I'm kind of dreading the sun coming over the hill this morning. As you can see, Bean has progressed to two-handed milking in the pail. We still have to guard the bucket once in a while because she will kick a little bit, especially when she runs out of her favorite stuff and thinks she's done and needs her peanuts. But I make her wait till we're all done and then she can have her peanuts. And we're almost there. Yeah. So, they are talking about having rain in New Mexico and southern Arizona this weekend, but it doesn't look like any of that's going to get to me. So we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe the end of next week. I don't know. We'll see. So Miss Bain still has leaky issues, but her production is coming up if I can keep her leaks stopped. I'm using the New Skin liquid bandage on her after every milking to help keep her from leaking. Because if she's leaking, that means her teat's open and bacteria can get in real easily and cause another case of mastitis. And we don't want to go there. But there's my foam line. So she's just a smidge over 2.5 pints this morning. So that's a little bit more than she's been giving me. So we're coming up slowly but surely. And she's been giving me about 2 to 2.5 pints in the evening. So around 5 pints a day, which is not wonderful for a first freshener, or at least I'm spoiled, because when Esmeralda was a first freshener, she was giving me 4 to 6 pints a day on one milking and nursing her triplets. And when her triplets weaned, she was giving me about a 1.5 gallons a day in 2 milkings. So I was kind of spoilt that way. But I'm just trying to be patient. I know that not every doe is really awesome on their first time around. And like Bean still has this big knot right there. I've tried everything, hot compresses, massaging, the peppermint cream, the Dynamint udder cream. Nothing seems to be changing it. So I don't know what's going on there. It's just like really firm mammary tissue in there. And it doesn't really go down with milking and lots of massaging. So I don't know, we'll see. I've had other girls have little knots in their udders like that as first fresheners, and usually by the time they are coming around as second fresheners, those little knots are all gone. So we'll see. We'll see. Are you done with your snack? You ready, Bombas? Huh? Are you ready? Oh. Yeah, I like you. Yeah. You want to finish that snack? You've got a little bit left. Yeah? What? Yes, you are. You're a pretty girl. Yeah, you want to brush a little bit. Here, let's fix the camera so everybody can see your pretty face. Look there. Look at that pretty face. Yeah, she's a pretty girl. Yes, she is. She's a pretty girl. Huh. Yeah, she's a pretty girl. Yeah. Bain, you're hilarious. She does that some mornings, getting a drink of water out of that bucket. Just hangs around with her legs hanging off the stand. You're so funny. All right, a little garden checkup. I have been kind of neglecting this space, but we're still okay. The squirrels did destroy several tomato plants down at the end. A couple might come back, but I'm thinking that the two second generation heat masters, the most precious plants I had, may not make it back because one is completely gone and the other one just has a bare chewed up stump. But I will water them and see what happens. Some of these other plants are missing some leaves and branches. But they are okay. They'll come back. Trying to give everything a deep water this morning. I'm surprised things aren't shriveled up because I don't remember the last day that I came in here and watered. But that's one of the reasons that I will water these tubs and buckets until the water is standing on top. And then it will take a little while for it to all drain out. That tells me that the whole root ball is saturated. So that's good. Oh, we got some little green tomatoes right there. I think those might be sweeties or one of the other cherry tomatoes. So otherwise, not a whole lot going on in here. There's still dead plants from last year that I need to clean out. Just, hours in a day. I have to laugh. So after, I don't know, probably about a month of my check engine light being on, I had made up my mind that I was going to go get it checked today. And I get in the car and it's not on anymore. So that's the way the car works. It's just possessed. Alrighty. It's about 2-ish in the afternoon on Friday. It's not quite time to do chores, except I'm quite sure that the little ducks need some water. Exactly what I was thinking. Y'all are out of water, aren't ya? Okay, baby, yes, we'll go get you some water. Yeah. You ready? Are you ready, baby? There's some water. Put your little water can in here. Yeah. Put some water in there.
Is that better? Yes, I know. It was so hot today. Yes, it was. It is so hot.
Here's our other ducky crew. Yeah, hey guys. Oh, you scaredy cats. They're scaries. Yeah. And there's our bigger duckies. There's Uno, the big yellow one, and then our 4 Roans, and 3 olive acre chicks. Y'all have made a mess out of your stuff, so I want to go take and clean this up. Yes, we'll get you some clean water. Yes, but first I'm going to put down some fresh pellets. Yeah. Okay guys, I got you on scout. When you're brooding baby ducks, and especially if you're brooding them inside, a shallow waterproof pan is really handy. Make it a little bigger than their waterer, and it will help contain some of the water mess. There you go. What do you think? Is that better? Huh? Yes. What are you doing? Huh? And then since it's been so hot, I have been just pouring water into the red part, which I'm gonna do right now. There you go. Woo, y'all are getting so big. Yes, you are. And Uno is looking ginormous. That's the one that was just a single baby that hatched out with my friends. Okay. I don't think any of these guys are really ready to just be outside in a regular pen. So what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna take down, that pen in the back is empty. I think I'm gonna take that one down and take this one down. And while those guys are still a lot smaller than these guys, I think everybody will be okay for me to mix the 2 groups together in this big space. And I'll leave this smaller pen up because there are still a few chicks in the brooder in the house that need to come outside. And they're real small, so that will protect them from the bigger birds. And so maybe I can get that done maybe on Sunday. And so far everybody's doing okay. I did lose that one little magpie the other day, but so far the rest of them look just fine. Don't ya? Don't ya? Y'all are too cute.
think you want snacks?